Bottlenecks are typically the main concern of people building a custom PC. However, the biggest trap of building a custom PC is focusing on building a PC, and here's why and what to avoid. While the PC itself is where a lot of effort and thought is put into, you have to keep in mind the person you're building a PC for, and their specific use case. Whether that's for yourself and wanting to build a PC for the experience, or since your old one is annoyingly slow and old, giving you a reason to do so. Especially if you're partying out a build for a friend or family member. It's easy to get into the mindset of making sure that you aren't wasting money on the wrong parts for the PC, and that's the trap, where you forget to look at what you need to use said PC. I've done this myself when I first started in the hobby, literally forgetting that I had to buy a monitor, mouse, and keyboard, since I came from a laptop, where all of those are built in. Yes, it does sound ridiculous, but being you, I glossed over it. I've even had a few friends fall for that trap differently, finding out their monitor is so old that it didn't even have an HDMI port. Yes, a few friends, it's happened twice. Here are a couple things to keep in mind. Otherwise, you might actually find mid-build or setup that you are either missing a component or you thought you already had it. If you're using an older monitor, make sure that it at least has an HDMI port. And if you're buying a new monitor, a lot of the common advice is to just get IPS, as it is the best value. If you're coming from having no desktop computer experience, going for a cheaper VA monitor is fine, because you don't have a better experience to compare it to. I've actually had a friend who's bought a cheap VA panel for their teenage kid who's never had a PC, and the kid was simply really happy to finally be able to play with their friends on PC exclusive games. The reason you would need to go for an IPS display is if who you're building the computer for are going to be looking at the monitor from different angles constantly. This is because VA panels tend to either change color tint or brightness drastically when changing viewing angles. Second piece of advice, if you're planning on using an existing pair of mouse and keyboard, simply make sure that they're using USB and support the operating system you plan on using. You'd be surprised, as when I tried to help my aunt with setting up her new PC, I told her, sure, just use the mouse and keyboard you already have. It should be fine. It wasn't. They use really old PS2 ports, so lo and behold, I had to go out and buy a set with USB. So, you might think you won't find any connection issues buying a new PC with new peripherals, so it should be compatible. Is it though? But that's where we'll get back onto the PC, as that's what you'll be connecting all those peripherals into. The big trap of I don't need Wi-Fi, because I have my computer wired anyway. If you plan on getting a motherboard without Wi-Fi to save some money, be aware it also means that there's no Bluetooth, because there's no wireless capability. This has actually happened to a friend of mine where because of work, they're required to have their PC connected through Ethernet. So they knew they were set up for wired internet, only to be surprised they had to buy a Bluetooth dongle. This is because they couldn't connect their Bluetooth headphones, mouse, and keyboard, practically rendering their PC useless. Luckily, the keyboard they had can be connected via wire, and they were able to install the operating system at least. And if you're into watching video with Bluetooth headphones, here's a video on why it can be a bad experience. Like the video, subscribe for more tech discussions, and have a nice one.